the seatbelt light. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelts. Thank you.
In most cases, you'll already have a style sheet when you create a new Flare project. And while many authors use only one style sheet, you can create more if you need them. You can create a new style sheet by selecting the project ribbon, clicking the New drop-down field, and choosing Add Style Sheet. Complete the options in the dialog and click Add. Once you have a style sheet, there are 3 ways for you to work in it. First, you can double-click the style sheet file in the Content Explorer, and you can modify it in the simplified view. This is the best option for brand new Flare users. When the style sheet editor is in the simplified view, you'll see a grid that displays the available styles. There are all kinds of styles, and this drop-down field lets you filter them to show only certain types. For example, you might want to see only paragraph styles, or maybe you want to limit the grid to show only table styles. Some of the styles might make sense right away. A P style is for paragraphs, an H1 style is for first-level headings, an IMG style is for images, and so on. There will probably be several other styles that make no sense to you at first, but don't worry, you'll learn all about the ones you need over time, and there are many others that you might never use. The reason Simplified View is good for brand new users is that you can select a style and use the buttons in the local toolbar to make changes to it. Or you can double-click the row and open an easy-to-use dialog to make further changes. In that way, it's a lot like changing formatting in Word. For example, to change the size and color of an H1 style, we can select the Font tab and make our changes here and here. And to change the spacing before and after the style, we can select the Paragraph tab and make our changes in these fields. The Preview column in the grid is an easy way to see how a style will look. The second way to work in a style sheet is to click this toggle button to show the Advanced View. This is the view preferred by users who are a little more comfortable with style sheets. In fact, you might find that you move from using the simplified view to using the advanced view in a shorter period of time than you think. Instead of a grid view, the styles are shown in a tree view on the left side of the editor, and you can change the properties for the selected style by using the options on the right. It's different from the simplified view, but still pretty easy to use. There are a few features in the local toolbar that can help you find what you need. First, there's a toggle button called Hide Inherited. This option is also available in the simplified view. It has to do with the styles that are shown in light gray. If you see a style or property in light gray, it means the information is coming from somewhere else, usually from a factory style sheet located where you installed Flare. You can hover over a light gray style to see exactly where it's coming from. Your style sheet will automatically use the default settings from that other style sheet unless you tell it otherwise. And once you explicitly change a property for a style, you'll notice that the text turns darker, which means that it's no longer inheriting the value from the other style sheet. So by selecting Hide Inherited, it will hide all of those inherited styles that are shown in light gray. Even with the inherited styles hidden, it can sometimes be overwhelming to look at all the styles in your style sheet. How do you find the one you need to change? Well, here are a couple of tips that might help you out a little bit. If you're working in the XML editor and you decide to make some styling changes for a piece of content, you can use the structure bars to speed things up. If you hover over the structure bar associated with the piece of content you want to change, a tooltip will show you the style being used. Not only that, but you can right-click on that structure bar, and from the context menu, you can go down to Style Class and choose Edit Style Class. The style sheet will open up, and the style you need to change will automatically be highlighted for you. The next button in the local toolbar of the Advanced View lets you switch the view of the style properties from a group view, which you see here, to an alphabetical list view, which you see here. If you're using the group view and you've expanded some groups, you can click this button to quickly collapse all of the groups. The next field is for mediums, which are very important to single sourcing in Flare. But we'll tackle that subject in another video in this series. Finally, there's a filter button that lets you reduce the properties that are shown below for the selected style. This field can be very useful to quickly find just the property you need. As you can see, we're currently viewing all of the available properties. If you select this first option, the list will become drastically reduced because it displays only the properties for which you have already set a value for the selected style. For example, if you choose the H1 style, you'll see the changes that we just made in the simplified view. If you don't see the property you need, you can use the Add Property dropdown to quickly add it to the view so that you can make changes to it. If you select the second option in the filter field, the list of properties will likely grow, because in addition to the properties you've explicitly set yourself, it will also show inherited settings that are coming from that other style sheet. And finally, if you select the Assorted Relevant Properties option, the list will show you the properties that Flare thinks you'll most likely want to change for the selected style. For the most basic style changes, you might start out using mostly the simplified view of the style sheet editor. But if you find that you need to make a change that's a little outside of the ordinary, you'll probably need to make your changes in the advanced view. There are a few additional features that you might have noticed in the top local toolbar. These fields are available for both the simplified view and the advanced view. We'll cover the Add Selector button in another video in this series. The next couple of buttons lets you do a handful of other things that we won't discuss here, but you can read all about them here in the online help. We mentioned that there are 3 ways to work with style sheets in Flare. We've already talked about 2 of them, the simplified and the advanced views of the style sheet editor. Unless you become quite proficient in CSS, chances are you'll stick with those 2 methods. But once you become very familiar with the way CSS works and the way it's written, you can open your style sheet in the text editor. To do this, right-click your style sheet file in the Content Explorer and select Open with Internal Text Editor. And it will look like this. Whatever changes you make in the internal text editor will automatically be made in the style sheet editor and vice versa. For more information about the style sheet editor and the various kinds of styles and properties not discussed in this video series, see the online help.